Wouldn't have been too good if they got hold to them, because they couldn't handle what they had with them at that time. Like, nah, they were totally outnumbered.
Puff felt embarrassed and disrespected, and something needed to be done. So allegedly that next night, he took P.Diddy out to dinner on the Sunset Strip. And there, according to Keefe, Puff offered him $1 million to get rid of Pac.
Me and Puffy are at this place called Greenblatt's Deli on Sunset. And he tells P.Diddy, man, I just need you to take care of this situation with Suge and Tupac.
Keefe, he's claiming that Puffy offered him $1 million.
Why the hell is Chris Mullen here?
Suge or Tupac?
Both
or
of
both.
them. Yeah, both their names came up.
Sit down, right there, don't go nowhere, little baby gon' shake that, little baby gon' shake that, little baby gon' shake that, little baby gon' shake that. Said, yeah, I like that, bring that right here. Said, sit down, right there, don't go nowhere. Said, yeah, I like that, bring that right here. Said, sit down, right there, don't go nowhere, little baby gon'.
Welcome back. We back with the last part of the Surviving Diddy series on Swamp Stories channel. Let's just get straight into it.
After he won his case, Puff decided to wash away his past and start with a new persona. So the first thing he did was change his stage name to P. Diddy, or Diddy for short. Some interpret his name change as him trying to leave his old ways behind. Puff represented how angry he was as a kid, and anger led to so much destruction in his life. P. Diddy would now be the level-headed businessman, or at least that was the plan. After all of this drama and loss, he wanted Bad Boy Records to restart their success. But now without Craig Mack, Biggie, Mason, Shine, Diddy needed some new talent. So of course the musical genius went out looking for his next star. Diddy's strange recruiting tactics. First, he wanted to sign a talented underground rapper by the name of 50 Cent, but 50 recalls what he believes as strange recruiting tactics, like possibly Clive Davis, Andre Harrell activities.
Nobody wanted to take this man shopping.
West Coast rapper Exhibit had a similar story as well.
I heard you tell a story before about how Puffy, he took you to a club before, and you seen a whole lot of men kissing, and you seen a whole lot of weird stuff going on.
Man, I ain't gonna touch that man. It's been talked about. Shout out to Puffy. Love, you know.
Brother man. No. Don't bite your tongue now. Oh, you trying to protect yourself and your family. Respectable. Cause you know Diddy got them booty guns. I'm just saying.
I'm saying, all good. We gonna leave that alone, man. That shit put to bed. Done.
Now these two stories could mean absolutely nothing, and that's why I really didn't even want to include them. But this next part is pretty crazy. The year is 2003 and Diddy is looking to sign new artists. But in this case, an artist comes to his desk looking for a deal. This would be New Jack City actor and R&B singer Christopher Williams. Long story short, Christopher got a deal from Bad Boy, but how it happened is the real story. According to Jaguar Wright, the old rituals came back around. She claims that Diddy's lawyer walked into his office and witnessed Christopher Williams giving him favors.
I think it was like 03. There was a young woman. She's a lawyer. Or at least she was. She used to be an entertainment lawyer. I hope I won't be putting her in danger while she was working at Bad Boy, because she was one of the lead counsels for Bad Boy Entertainment. She witnessed something. She witnessed something that was disturbing to her. But what was really disturbing to her was the conversation that she had with Diddy after. See, Christopher Williams, I don't know, I guess he wanted to sign. I don't know what happened. But Puff was supposed to be giving him a demo deal, and he gave him a demo deal, and I guess it was supposed to turn into an album deal, which that never happened. But this young woman walked in to get approval on some paperwork, see. And when she walked in, the door wasn't locked, so she didn't think twice about just walking in, and when she walked in, she saw Christopher Williams on Puff. And I just don't know, he was like, it's power, see?
Of course, this is all rumors and speculation, so we'll leave it at that and move on to the next generation of Bad Boy. The next generation...
What generation?
Generation would be led by Southern rappers Young Jock and 8 Ball and MJG, both of which would go gold instantly, and the genius of Diddy was on display once again. And finally, with these two, there was no rupture between Diddy and his artists. However, just because things went smoothly with them does not mean that was the case with everyone else.
Y'all folded because King
So
was
now
supposed
we
to be on
focus
Kendrick
on
level.
another facet of his life. We enter the chapter of relationship abuse and drama of Diddy. So here is where things get really dark and scary. It all began in 1994 when Diddy got in a relationship with Kim Porter. When they first met, Kim was married to a singer named I'll Be Sure and they shared a son named Quincy. Well, once the relationship with I'll Be Sure fell apart, Kim got together with Diddy and they had children of their own. Diddy also adopted her son Quincy and everything looked like peaches and cream from the outside looking in. But internally, the relationship was on and off for years and rocky to say the least. In fact, the people around them say that Diddy was manipulative, controlling, and abusive towards Kim. Apparently, the relationship was terrible, but they stayed together for the sake of the kids. However, enough was enough and the couple officially went their separate ways in the early 2000s. In any bad relationship, separating is always the healthiest thing to do. Diddy moved on to new relationships and so did Kim. Kind of. During their separation, Diddy's controlling instincts could not hold back. As we now know, when something is out of his control, he absolutely freaks out. Even though he moved on to other women, he could not handle Kim seeing other men. And this is when the Diddy relationship mania truly starts. According to Bad Boy artist Mark Curry, Diddy began tapping her phone to know who she was talking to and where she was.
Anytime a man would go out his way to wiretap someone's phone or put taps in their homes just to monitor their conversation, that's a sign of insanity. He know everything she doing.
As Diddy allegedly overheard all of her conversations, he was bound to hear something that he didn't like. That day would come and it would definitely not be pretty. While listening to her conversations, he overheard her flirting with a man named Shakir Stewart. For those who are unfamiliar, Shakir was a respected lawyer turned record label executive, and at this particular time, he was the head of A&R for L.A. Reid's LaFace Records. Well, when Diddy overheard his relations with Kim, he allegedly went ballistic. According to lawsuits, Diddy was so mad that he tracked them down and even assaulted them. First, he targeted Shakir Stewart himself.
That made him so mad at Shakir Stewart when he went to L.A. Reid party, hit him with the chair.
This is bad, but not even the worst.
Ain't no way in hell you let another grown man hit you with it. Man, look. Diddy. Listen to me. You probably never see this video. I don't care. Boy, you know who to mess with and who not to mess with, boy. I promise you do, boy. A chair. Alright. Nigga, Diddy would have got slammed out in that building.
Worst part about it, allegedly he also broke Kim Porter's nose.
Speaking of Kim Porter, because you knew Kim Porter, is it true that Diddy broke her nose?
Bust her nose, man. So when you see someone doing that, you can imagine everything else they do. They try to make it seem like she slipped and fell. She slipped and fell and broke her nose. Nah, the truth was she slipped and fell and landed on his fist.
You know what I'm saying?
If this is true, then that's just flat out terrible. And to make matters worse, it's said that Diddy had a deep hatred for Shakir Stewart even after all of this.
Wait, LaFace is in
Now, I
GA,
can't
right?
prove anything.
Bro, yes,
Something
bro. That man
very
Diddy would've
strange
got
would
hit
occur
with-
in 2008. On November 1st, 2008, Shakir Stewart was found inside of his Georgia home. According to his friends and family, Shakir was acting paranoid and unusual in the days before his passing.
Every time he called me, he was like real melancholy, subdued.
He was in a kind of state of paranoia. He was indicating that he was being pursued. He was looking out the windows. He was indicating that he was being pursued. He was looking out the windows.
The situation is very mysterious, but I'll leave it up to you guys to determine what you want. Well, now we veer off into another Diddy relationship. In 2005, Diddy found his next bad boy protege. This would be a singer out of New Jersey by the name of Cassie Ventura. Diddy's genius revealed itself once again as Cassie was a success right off the bat. In 2006, she released hit songs Me and You and Long Way to Go and instantly became a household name. But Diddy saw more in her than just music. In fact, he really wanted to date her. So in 2007, a 38-year-old Diddy and a 20-year-old Cassie entered a relationship. The sweethearts of the industry. In front of the cameras, everything looked glamorous. But behind closed doors, things were worse than you can imagine. According to Cassie, this is when her life became a living hell. First, she claims that Diddy was physically violent. Of course, this is horrible, but the next part is even crazier. She claims that Diddy forced her into relations with other men all while he watched. What the actual...
Wait, what?
Well, by 2012, she claims that Diddy forced her into relations with other men all while he watched. What the actual... Well, by 2012, Cassie had enough and decided to take a break from the relationship. As we know from the Kim Porter experience, this could only mean trouble. After leaving Diddy, Cassie began talking to superstar rapper Kid Cudi. And if you know anything about Cudi, you know that he's probably the chillest guy you could ever meet. Regardless, Diddy's jealousy and control issues ran rampant once again. According to Cassie, Diddy threatened Cudi and said that he would blow his car up. And what do you know, not too long after this, Cudi's car was set to flames in his driveway. How I know this? Well, Cudi actually confirmed it himself. But the jealousy does not end here. Obviously, Kid Cudi and Cassie did not last and they both moved on. Regardless, Diddy was still all up in her business, allegedly tracking her every move. And that leads us to an even crazier story. It's about the year 2012 and here we are in the beautiful Washington, D.C. We're here because Cassie has a studio session with up-and-coming rapper Wale. And before the session, Wale warns his entourage not to stare at Cassie. This is because he knows that Diddy is absolutely nuts for her.
Wale been telling us, like, before we even get to the studio with him and Cassie in the studio, Wale was already telling us, like, man, we about to go to the studio with Cassie. Man, Diddy be acting crazy over her. Diddy don't want nobody working around her, so y'all make sure y'all don't look at her too wild or make her feel uncomfortable. Or if you see her security guards with her, just prepping us on how crazy Diddy act over her. Like, any guys that's around her in her vicinity, while Diddy not around, he kirks off, he goes off.
So the DC guys make sure to be as respectful as possible because Diddy could walk in the studio at any moment. And of course, Wale makes sure to keep everything professional.
Her and Wale doing what they do in the studio, but they helping each other. It's just professional, y'all. It ain't nothing like, they ain't doing nothing weird. I don't feel no weird vibes. I don't see no flirting or nothing. It's really professional. They making good music.
But here's the thing. Diddy does not want anyone with Cassie in the studio. Instead, he wants them to email their verses.
I guess they weren't supposed to be there doing it in person together. They were supposed to send it or whatever, but they was trying to keep and do it in person together because they ain't thinking Diddy gonna pop up in here. Like, Diddy probably somewhere living his natural born life. At least that's what they thought.
Cassie's under the impression that Diddy doesn't know where she is, but we know better than that.
Crazy over them girls, like super duper stalking, like he be having private investigators following him, no niggas can't go around him, he very controlling. I swear to God.
So as you would expect, Diddy crashes the studio session.
But he came in with aggression, they moving, and then I looked, it was like a glance once he got a little bit past me, I'm like, damn, that's Diddy.
Allegedly, Diddy heads straight for Wale and chases him around the studio. And once they get a hold of him, they hold him over the balcony.
It's a balcony in the studio, like an out balcony. You can see over the back. I swear to God, my grandmother, they got Wale over top of his feet. They got him off his feet, hanging off the balcony. Like, he hanging off the balcony. They dangling by his feet.
If this is true, then it's next level insanity. Aunt Glizzy is brave for putting this out there, but I'm sure there's tons of other stories that have never gotten the publicity. Also, let me mention that Wale has never confirmed this story. Well, according to Cassie, these...
Why would Wale confirm a story of him getting abused by security and Diddy? What the... How would you do that? Even if your image isn't a hard rapper or someone who's a thug or anything like that, why would you want to put that out there, bro?
Sort of occurrences lasted for years after this incident, and she was finally able to break up with Diddy in October of 2018. This is when the madness ended for her, but this was not the case for everyone else. Just a month after the Cassie breakup, tragic news would come to the Combs family. On November 15, 2018, Kim Porter was found in her Los Angeles home. The news was shocking as Kim was such a beautiful and healthy person. Everyone was hurt and confused as the cause of death was not announced for months after the incident.
What happened?
On January 25th, it was officially announced that pneumonia was the cause, but it usually doesn't take that long to figure it out. And here is where the controversy begins. Rumors state that Kim was in the process of writing a tell-all book about Diddy and her relationship.
Kim Porter was working on a book before she died.
But wait, this doesn't make any sense. She died of natural causes, so what does a book have anything to do with it? Well, Jaguar seems to believe that this is a lie and that they covered up the true story.
Kim died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said it was ruled a homicide and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. You know, they have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms.
Now these are some serious claims, so now let's do some investigation. Firstly, the claims that it was initially ruled a homicide have not been proven. However, the fact that it took months to get a ruling is very unordinary. And because of this, a celebrity coroner named Ed Winter was asked to investigate. So, what did Ed Winter find? Well, he didn't find anything, but not for the reasons you'd think. Ed would sadly pass away of a heart attack not too long after.
What?
And as you'd imagine, Kim Porter's case has not been opened since. What do you guys think? Is Diddy powerful enough to take out Kim and Ed Winter? Make of all that what you want, but now we move on to another mysterious case. On May 7th, 2020, Andre Harrell was found in his Hollywood Hills home. The passing was ruled as natural causes as a result of heart failure. Now again, why would this be mysterious? Well, Jaguar has her suspicions.
Andre was writing a book right before he died.
Okay, so she thinks it's another book, but she also thinks that Diddy always had it in for him.
You know, you had it in for Andre because Andre used to make you.
I don't know. What do you guys think about this one? Is Diddy responsible for Andre Harrell? Now guess what? The mysterious cases do not end here. Now we focus on the legendary singer I'll Be Sure. Apparently, Al was working on a documentary of Uptown Records and his own life. Well, one day while he was at work, he mysteriously collapsed.
He fell into a coma. Well, he had a catastrophic medical emergency, but he is back.
I mean, there were so many things going on to the point where they were considering sending me to hospice. And what people don't truly understand unless you've been through this type of medical journey is taking for granted breathing, tying your shoes, speaking.
Again, Jaguar suspects that there was foul play.
And I'll Be Sure was working on the documentary of his life. And then he goes into a coma.
I don't know about this one, but again, what do you guys think? It is interesting though, through all the situations, it seems like Diddy is the only one to always make it through. From Pac to Biggie to Shine to Kim Porter to Andre Harrell and to I'll Be Sure. Could all of this be a coincidence or is it a case of surviving Diddy? You guys tell me which ones you believe. Firstly, is Diddy responsible for the loss of Tupac?
Yes.
Secondly, is it possible that he sacrificed Biggie?
Yes.
Thirdly, did he betray Shine and kick him to the curb when things got sticky?
Yes.
And for the rest of the list, is it because they had information that he didn't want to get out?
The survivors and the late of Uptown Records, they were all writing tell-all books.
And she believes that the monster was created when Diddy was allegedly victimized.
Roscoe Dash has haircut.
See, what Andre did to you, it could have stopped with him. But you like the power too much. So all you did was emulate what Andre Harrell did to you. See, you were a victim, and then you became a victimizer. And that's what you chose.
After all these years, will Diddy ever pay the price for the things that he allegedly did? Well, probably not, because he is smarter than anyone he ever encounters. Like, I will say this, Diddy is a legitimate genius. If he took an IQ test, I promise you he'd be at the very top. Regardless though, Cassie would finally come forward against him on November 17th, 2023. This is when she came forward with a major class action lawsuit accusing him of all kinds of crazy stories. Everyone was shocked, like whoa, Diddy is cooked. But within just 24 hours, Diddy settled the lawsuit for an undisclosed amount. Many people estimate that the payment was over 8 figures. Diddy will most likely never go to jail, but not everyone around him can say the same. In particular, after telling everything on YouTube, P.Diddy is now a wanted man.
It's becoming more apparent that Dwayne P.Diddy Davis likely talked himself into his own indictment nearly 3 decades after the murder of Tupac Shakur. We now know more evidence considered by a Clark County grand jury in returning an indictment against Dwayne Keefe D. Davis. It consists mainly of Davis's own words gathered over the past few years from interviews he gave.
I got no reason to lie.
Wow, wow, wow. You'd think that with all the crime in Vegas, they'd have other things to focus on. But in their defense, Keefe D did make it really easy. All they had to do was look on YouTube. But here's the real question. Will Diddy get arrested in the case as well? Given the fact that Keefe did say that Diddy put $1 million on Tupac's head, it's definitely possible. However, he may be saved by Eric Von Zip's decision to keep the money. Personally, I can't see him getting arrested, but only time will tell. Well, this might be my favorite video that I've ever made, and I hope you guys feel the same way too. So if you want to see me make another video like this, let me know in the comments what you want to see, or hit me on Instagram as well. So you guys feel the same way too. So if you want to see me make another video like this, let me know in the comments what you want to see, or hit me on Instagram as well. So thank you, and that's gonna do it for this episode of Swamp Stories. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe.
We about to watch the ARI video in a second. So that was part 3 of this long ass video about Diddy doing crazy things. I thought it was gonna be a little bit. I thought he was gonna have more of the stories that's been coming out recently about Diddy doing weird things with other people's females and being very hostile and aggressive towards other people's females when they were in the studio. Or like the story of bro leaving his girl in the studio to see if she was gonna go for/with Diddy, knowing that Diddy was a weirdo. Like I feel like it's way more stories that are gonna come out. Probably later than sooner actually, but it just depends. That's the end of the video. So make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Don't forget to share the video and stay safe out there, y'all.
I'm a cowboy, can't stop me, ain't till it's the coming. All this pain got me feeling accomplished. See, these games turn me into a monster. Hey, I'm a cowboy, can't stop me, till it's the coming. All this pain got me feeling accomplished. See, these games turn me into a monster. I'm a cowboy, can't stop. Hey, all that pain got me feeling jaded. Many to roll in the making, still plugged into the mix, but lagging out before the update. Drop back in, different time, same location.